Happy New Year, first of all. Welcome to 2024. My topic today is going to be, I heard it written, I heard somebody said about it or talked about it, that you're not a black American if you're not in favor of the LGBT community. Why do you even have to make a statement like that? Why do they want to try to cause controversy? Why do you want to make a statement like that to start with? Everybody has different feelings about everything. Black people have 1,001 different opinions about everything under the sun. So why would someone want to say, well, if you're not black if you don't support LGBT communities? You know, I think it's strictly a political ploy. I think that candidates like to lump people all together for a voting mass, so they can look at demographics and statistics and see how they fare in certain markets or certain states or certain places. How much vote can they get? You know, the same when you identify and you say, well, all Spanish-speaking people are Latinos, and we know that Central America has 7 nations, and South America has 7 nations, and you have Dominican Republic. You got places all over the place that people speaking Spanish, and you want to lump them all together and say Latinos. You say, well, the Latino this or the Latino that. I mean, it's just, I'm sure somebody from El Salvador would not want to say they're Guatemalan, and somebody from Guatemala would want to say, oh, you're El Salvadoran or Nicaraguan or Panamanian or Costa Rican, call you something else other than what you are. But when you come into this great country, America, it's always, let's lump them all together, Latinos. Or Mexican. Oh, Mexican, no, you're El Salvador or you're Costa Rica. I'm not Mexican, but you're Latino. Nobody wants that. But then back to this, you're not black if you're not supporting the LGBT community. I think it's disgusting to lump people all together. I think it's shameful. I think that if anything, you should say, well, you don't love black folks if you're not supporting reparations and working toward every possibility imagined to man to get black Americans who are former descendants of slaves reparations. How about that? How about that? Instead of making I mean, that seems to me to be something everybody should be able to get on board with. Clearly everyone knows that what slavery ended in 1864. For some people in it earlier, even some people earlier who fought in the Revolutionary War who were people of color or black Americans. I mean, well, how about that? Isn't that much clearer than saying, well, you have to, if you're black, you have to agree that if a man wears a dress and identifies as a woman, he's a woman. That's a harder stretch. Or if a woman wears pants and glasses on and a shirt and she wants to be identified as a man, okay. Identify as a man. I mean, isn't that a harder stretch than to say, well, let's let these black folks who were historically slaves, who came out of slavery, who you know, could have made so much income before. Let's go ahead and give them a great boost, a great shot, a booster shot, a great shot in the arm. Let them give them that money, man, and see what they can do with it. I mean, some people are going to make big decisions, big moves, and right decisions, and some people are going to make bad decisions. Whatever decision they make, somebody in the economy is going to make money, whether they're going to buy new cars, whether they're buying homes, whether they're sending somebody to college, whether they're going to trade school, whether they're vacation on the world. Somebody's going to benefit from it one way or another. Let's give those folks what they deserve. Let's not try to lump them in the same category as everything else, or they're not black. Let's award them for the suffering that their ancestors did over here in this great country of America. How about that? I mean, you know, if someone wants, you know, of course, you heard Senator Hall say in the 90s, some of you people are younger, maybe you weren't born in 90 or 92, but this great black talk show host was one of the greatest talk shows of all time, named was Senator Hall. He once said that somebody got up in his audience was gay and said, why don't you have gay people come on your show? And he says that he had people come on the show all the time that are gay. Some of them don't want to even be they're not coming out the closet saying they gay for whatever reason, and some are, so he's not forcing them to say so, and told the person to shut up because, you know, we're black and we're trying to gain as much as we can gain in life, and, you know. So politically speaking, it's like, you know, lump them all together, man. Let's go and try to get that vote. Let's try to, get back in power. Let's try to do this or that. What are you really solving? What problems are you really solving? So, let's let everybody in that community, who's so passionate about their rights. In that community, we have a lot of tremendous amount of white people who are privileged anyway in America. And they want to be privileged to, the man wants to, dress like a woman and drag and read to kindergarten students. He figured there's nothing wrong with his way to do it. So it gives another layer to white community, and puts reparations back at the back door even further. Because now you want to deal with this situation. Maybe that's the whole purpose of it. Don't really know. So maybe I think she flipped around and they should all try to talk about reparations. And my thing about reparations is that I know everybody can't be given reparations at one time. That's a tremendous amount of money. America would not have been a great country if it gave all that money away after they made it through by the backs of black people. I think that you should award money from 90 years old and up. How many black Americans in that? Then from 80 to 90, because some people are going to turn 90 after the deadline. Then from 70 to 80 and 60 to 70 and on down, 50 to 60 and 40 to 50 and 30 to 40 and 20 to 30 and all the way down to infants, man. Just go ahead and give them the money. Go ahead and give them money. I based it about $195,000 to $200,000 reparations. That's based on a field order that was given, when the Civil War, when they said, let's give black folks 40 acres and a mule. So let's say 40 acres and a tractor now, 40 acres and a small light car. So let's say that's about $200,000, depending on where in the United States of America. But I think it's a fair amount of money because you're going to give it everybody. But you're going to give it, so what is it going to take, 10 years maybe to get it all done? Let's give it up to them. I mean, you're talking about benefiting a group of people who have been downtrodden, who fought for civil rights for everybody that came to this country benefits what the black man did. They stand on your shoulders. The civil rights board about rights for everybody that came here, whether you're an Asian man, whether you're from actual Africa, whether you're from anywhere in the Russian area or anywhere else. It gave everybody civil rights. You can go to court and say, my civil rights have been violated, and know that the black man bought it about for you. So I'm saying so many monuments and things have been given to black folks who've gave it them all. The great Martin Luther King Jr. and all the civil rights leaders who struggled and fought, and voting rights and things you should have had on time, proper housing. And then you got places in the United States where they stayed slaves 2 years longer than what they should have been slaves at, all down to that Texas area and all that. I mean, man, something the whole time in this great country we live in. So I'm saying, let's do that. Fight for that, man. I mean, stand up and cheer for that and say, let's get reparations for them and that type of thing. I mean, if you really mean it. Because I remember Dave Chappelle said something in one of his comedy club things. He said that he went somewhere out, having drinks somewhere, sitting around the table, and this large, white guy who was wanted to be perceived as a woman dressed up came over to him, wanted to take pictures and all that, and he said he covered his drinks. Dave Chappelle was spitting his drink, covered his drink, and he said, after I finish doing this, then we'll go ahead and do something with you. And the person started getting rude with him, so he walked over to their table and and explained the situation to them. He said a really big white man stood up, who was had colored fingernails and dressed like a woman with body shirt on and all that kind of stuff. Stood up and real huge, and said, "I'll call the police on you right now. I feel threatened." So, knowing even in that community, the LGBT community, knowing that you're calling the police on this black guy, and the police come, they're gonna see a black man. They're not gonna see a rich, successful comedian, well-spoken. They're gonna see a black man, and more likely it ends up in a bad kind of situation. So, aware of that mentally, he knew that. So I mean, so to say the lump us all together would be like just a retarded thing anyway. So I don't think that's a fair thing to do. And during slavery time, when you had homosexual slave owners, they called it breaking the buck, having sex with black men. They'll get a superiority over them, or they'll feel they have them under control when they're doing that. Man, it's just a fetish. They was gay and want to have sex with somebody black. It make any difference. So, look, stay black in America. Like, share, and support my channel. And what, you hear what I'm saying right now? I want you to subscribe, listen, subscribe, and work toward these reparations, because it's one of the biggest things on my whole YouTube channel is about getting these reparations. getting these reparations, man, so people want to decide to stay here in this great country of America, or avenues to go back to Africa. Hopefully the eastern part of Africa, not the western part. The western part sold mostly everybody in the whole world where blacks are now. They sold them into slavery, 11 million, and some people over that period of time from 1500s into 18 something. So hopefully that can happen, man. And let's not, talking about lump everybody all together. Let's like all them, rally behind black folks and try to get those reparations done. So I don't have nothing, me personally, we're gonna live a certain time, we're gonna die. So somebody bisexual, they gay, they this and that, all those kind of things, that's something they have to deal with internally themselves. Anywhere in the world, I'm not about discriminating against anybody. I'm saying don't lump us all together. And if you're gonna do anything for us, this demographic, black people, fight for us to get reparations. You know anybody? You know anything? You know anybody in Congress? You know any smart ways to go about it? Let's go ahead and do it. And in the category I was saying, from 90 and up, all the way down, 10-year span of time, categories from 1 to 10. I mean, there's only 44 million of us left over in the United States of America. That should be kind of done pretty fast. And whether certain taxes have to be implemented on people, or maybe people trying to come over here to the border illegally, or maybe people who just been over here a short little while. The government got to fund some more money, stop giving money away to these countries about wars and all this other kind of stuff. And this bankroll to black people. Give them the money they deserve, and let it not be said anymore about reparations. And maybe God will bless the country even more through innovation and all that type of things. So look, stay black in America. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.